It's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer. Today we're going to be taking a look at a beer from Home Bargains. It's going to be an American Red Ale, but I'm just going to show you the other beer that's launched into Home Bargains. They're both £1.50. This is the Pumpkin Spice Stout, described as dark, smooth and spiced, 4.5% ABV, 440 milliliter can. I'm just going to put that down now because I'm just showing you that review's coming soon to the channel. We're going to be taking a look today at the American Red Ale from Glen Cannich Brewery. It's an arm from Glen Cannich Brewery based in Liverpool, and they produce these beers purely for Home Bargains. Whenever you see Glen Cannich Brewery, generally means these beers are the beers that they put in for Home Bargains, and they're put in at a decent price point, £1.50. Small batch, brewed fresh, American Red Ale, brewed in the UK with US hops, 4.5% ABV, 440 milliliter can. And I think the reason why they put brewed in the UK is because Home Bargains bring over quite a lot of American craft beer, especially 2022, 2023. There's lots of kind of tailgate beers in there. There's some fantastic lagers in there from America, really good. So I think they just wanted to be didn't want to confuse things with a lot of American beer. With it being an American Red Ale, that's a style of beer, that is, American Red Ale. To all you new people interested in this, but certainly brewed in the UK, in Liverpool. Right, without further ado, let's get this beer out into a glass and see what we get. I've actually brewed a beer with Glen Cannich Brewery, based in Liverpool. We'll talk about that a little bit later on. I mean, for an American Red Ale, wow. That's looking really quite nice, isn't it? Okay, it's quite dark to look at, but it does have that kind of cherry red look to it. Not sure exactly how my camera's picking it up, whether it might look a little bit dark in the camera, but it's definitely got that lovely kind of cherry red, deep dark colour to it. We've got a 2-finger slightly off-white head, good levels of carbonation as the beer rises up the glass, and it's been brewed with the American hops, El Dorado and Hull Melon, and some Amarillo and Centennial as well, for £1.50. So, what am I going to get? What am I going to get for £1.50 when, if you go to the likes of Tesco's or Morrison's, they're charging £3.50 a can for beers that are 5% ABV, half a percentage point higher than this. So what can I expect for something half the price? Well, the immediate thing that might crop into your mind is, are you going to get something half the flavour of one of the canned craft beers in Tesco, Morrison's, Sainsbury's for £3 a can, being £1.50, half the price? There's only one way of finding out, really, and that's getting into it. But it looks very good. It does look very good. Nice carbonation, nice look to the beer, good head retention. Let's get the aroma. It smells quite good. There's a little bit of kind of like a toffee malt coming through, a toffee aroma. Not from kind of adjuncts, I'm talking about the malt, like a toffee biscuity malt aroma. It's quite hoppy as well. It's quite hoppy for the price. Quite hoppy. That smells okay, that. Let's dive in. Cheers. This could be a right surprise. Oh, right, okay, let me stop you right there. Wow. If you're a fan of canned craft beer and you like an American red ale and you want to save yourself some money, look no further than this beer. This beer, first and foremost, stone the crows. Stone the crows. What a beer for £1.50. That is just fantastic. Getting my breath back. Fantastic, malty, rich, medium mouthfeel. Lovely. That kind of slightly toffee, biscuity malt comes through in the taste. I'm chuckling to myself because I just cannot believe the price on this for what you're getting. So you're getting all of that lovely kind of biscuity malt over here, and then you're getting pardon me, it's nicely carbonated. You get over here on the kind of hop side of things, you're getting things like orange peel and grapefruit, and just terrific, and a nice whack of bitterness. So sweetness, bitterness, lovely balance to the beer. The beer is fantastically balanced. It's nicely carbonated. It's got a magical mouthfeel. Look at the lacing on the glass. Now this will tell you the story of this beer just by looking at it. If you've ever been to a SIBA festival, if you've ever judged, if you've ever if you've drank lots of canned craft beer, and you'll know this. Look at this. Look at the quality on this beer. Look at that head rebuilding itself in the glass as I'm rolling the beer around in the glass. Now that's an exact indication of what I'm tasting in the mouthfeel. That's that kind of creamy, rich mouthfeel that I was talking about. You can see it with your own eyes. Look at this. I've never been so excited for a £1.50 beer before. This is quite frankly incredible value for money. Really incredible value for money. Comment in the comments box. Let me know what you think of this. This just what you think of the look of the beer for the price point. Biscuity, toffee, malts coming through. This is going to be my autumn beer. I like canned craft beer. I've been drinking a lot of German lagers lately, as a lot of you know. But we're definitely hitting that. I mean, I'm out in the conservatory in a jumper now. We're definitely hitting that kind of end of September, early October, kind of like, you know, you're rubbing your hands a little bit, you know, you're desperately trying not to put the heating on for, you know, you're trying to get yourself into October, November before you put the heating on. You know, we're heading into those kind of colder winter months, and it's a time for kind of winter warmer ales. It's a time for stouts and porters, imperial stout, maybe the odd barley wine, you know, and this kind of like this darker kind of seasonal beer, if you like, this kind of like darker brew. It's I'm looking at the clock and I'm thinking I've only been talking 9 minutes about this beer. I feel like I could talk about this beer for another 9 minutes. It's just so good for the price point. I want to make a point. In the when I first started reviewing beer in 2010, that is 13, nearly 14 years ago. Feels like it is a long time ago now. When I started 13, 14 years ago, you used to be able to go to the supermarkets, and you used to be able to, if you were lucky, you used to be able to buy a bottle of ale for £1. And that used to be my treat for the week. That used to be my review beer of the week. Whatever was £1, I used to buy and review it. Didn't have much money back then. My point is that over that kind of like 13, 14 year period, I've been able to see inflation in beer because I was buying these bottled beers for £1. And it kind of like crept up and crept up. By the time 2012 come, you couldn't buy a beer for £1 anymore. It kind of crept up to £1.20 or £1.30. Then they introduced kind of like 3 for £4 deals in the supermarkets, and you know, all of a sudden things become clouded. You're asked to buy 3 bottles or 4 bottles, you're getting 1 free, and 3 for £5. And anyway, what I'm trying to say is I've seen the inflation of beer, and then we had kind of the likes of Tesco getting involved in craft beer with Vocation, that Gatto kind of blueberry muffin thing that they brought out a good 6 years ago now. And that went into the supermarket at about £3 a can, and that kind of set the mould, if you like. Tesco quickly realised that they could sell cans of beer for £3, and quickly followed by the likes of Morrison's, Sainsbury's, Asda, and then of course your Lidl's and Aldi's. But then the bar was set at £3. Now they're starting to come in at £3.50, £3.75, £4 a can. And quite frankly, I've had some of these beers at £3 a can, and they've been terrible. And I felt completely ripped off. And not only ripped off, but I'm making videos on YouTube about this beers, and people are commenting and they're saying kind of like, you shouldn't be so harsh. But the reason why, if a beer is not very good for £3, is for that very reason. I can remember buying beer not so much 13 years ago. Wasn't a million years ago, was it? I can remember buying bottled beers for £1. I love the fact that in 2023, 13 years later, you can get a really decent American red ale in home bargains for the price point of £1.50. This is decent stuff. Great lacing, great look to the beer. Fantastic taste. This is going to be my autumn beer of choice. If ever I think to myself, I want to do a Stone Crow virtual pub, or I want to have a few beers to myself on a Saturday night, I've got a home bargains 10-minute walk from here. I'm going to just go through that big black gate over there. I'm going to make my way over to home bargains through the lane, and bish bash bosh, I'm going to come back with my rucksack, 4 to 6 cans of this American red ale. It's absolutely fantastic. Now I've got my fingers crossed, because the next review I'm going to do, keep an eye out for this one, is going to be the Glen Cannich Brewery Pumpkin Spice Stout, and I'm hoping that this will equally be a good as beer as this American red ale, because then it gives me a choice, doesn't it? I could buy a couple of cans of the American red, I can buy a couple of spiced pumpkin stouts. Brilliant beer. This is fantastic value for money. It's a 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10 from Real Ale Craft Beer. Please go and find it, hunt it down. It's now available in home bargains. Please put your comments in the comments box. Subscribe to our daily beer and food reviews. Give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom. Cheers.